The Galactic Council had stopped mentioning Earth centuries ago. In the vast archives of the Orion Assembly, humanity's file sat buried beneath forgotten treaties and expired sanctions. To the elder races, Earth was a stubborn, primitive world that had refused council authority, ignored diplomatic summons, and vanished behind silent borders. Eventually, the galaxy concluded humanity would either collapse alone or crawl back begging for recognition. Neither happened. For 300 years, no human ambassador entered the council chambers. No Earth vessel appeared in interstellar trade lanes. Automated probes sent toward Sol disappeared without explanation, and every warning buoy placed near human territory was quietly dismantled and returned intact. The silence unsettled many, but the council dismissed it as isolationist arrogance from a species too proud to admit weakness. Then the Draveri Dominion expanded. The Dominion consumed systems with industrial precision. Entire civilizations disappeared beneath endless fleets and orbital firestorms. At first, the Council attempted negotiations. When that failed, they tried sanctions. When sanctions failed, they sent armadas. Those armadas burned across the stars while the Dominion grew stronger from the wreckage. World after world fell. The Council's grand chambers became a hall of panic. Ancient alliances fractured overnight as member species abandoned outer colonies to defend their own core systems. Refugee convoys clogged hyperspace corridors. Trade collapsed. Entire sectors descended into famine and piracy, while council admirals argued over shrinking maps covered in red. In desperation, someone suggested contacting humanity. The chamber erupted in outrage. The humans were defiant isolationists, dangerous, unpredictable. Many counselors still remembered the humiliating day. Earth rejected council membership and publicly accused the galaxy's ruling powers of exploiting weaker species under the guise of unity. Humanity had warned the council centuries earlier that corruption and complacency would one day destroy them all. No one had listened. Still, with the Dominion advancing toward the galactic core, pride became a luxury. A diplomatic vessel was dispatched to Sol carrying pleas for aid and promises of full recognition. The envoys expected bitterness, perhaps refusal. What they found instead was silence. Not empty silence. Prepared silence. Human patrol ships emerged from the darkness around Neptune like specters made of steel and shadow. They dwarfed every known council cruiser. Their hulls carried no decorative markings, no glowing emblems, no ceremonial lights. Only scars. Thousands of them. Evidence of battles no one in the galaxy had ever witnessed. The envoys were escorted to Earth under heavy guard. The planet they expected to find divided and primitive no longer existed. Earth had become the center of a civilization, forged entirely around survival. Orbital shipyards encircled the planet in colossal rings, stretching thousands of kilometers. Lunar foundries burned day and night. Mars glittered with military fortresses visible from orbit. Humanity had not ignored the galaxy. Humanity had been preparing for it. Inside a massive command chamber beneath the Himalayas, the council delegation met the Supreme Fleet Marshal of Earth. The old human stood motionless before a holographic map of the war-torn galaxy. Every Dominion advance was already marked. Every lost system cataloged. Every council defeat analyzed in terrifying detail. "We warned you," the Marshal said calmly. The delegation demanded to know how humanity possessed such extensive intelligence. The Marshal answered without emotion. Human observers had monitored the galaxy for centuries. Every council conflict, every political betrayal, every military weakness. Earth had remained silent because humanity believed the council was too arrogant to survive its own corruption. But now, the Marshal said, the Dominion threatens everyone. One counselor asked the question none of them truly wanted answered. "How large is Earth's military?" The human officers exchanged brief glances. Then the holographic display changed. Thousands of icons appeared across human-controlled space. Battleships larger than cities. Carrier groups hidden inside artificial moons. Planet cracker weapons orbiting dead stars. Entire fleets stationed beyond the edge of mapped space. The display continued expanding until several counselors physically staggered backward in horror. Earth had built the largest war machine in galactic history. Not for conquest, for the day someone came for them. The Marshal explained humanity's philosophy with chilling simplicity. While the Council spent centuries debating laws and ceremonial authority, humanity studied war. Every alien invasion in human history had taught the same lesson. Survival belonged to the prepared. So Earth dedicated generations to mastering logistics, engineering, cyber warfare, artificial intelligence, and fleet coordination on a scale the galaxy could scarcely comprehend. The Dominion attacked the Council capital 3 weeks later. Millions watched live broadcasts as the enemy armada descended upon the heart of galactic civilization. Council defenses collapsed within hours. Orbital stations exploded one after another. Dominion warforms marched through burning cities while evacuation fleets fled in chaos. Then hyperspace tore open above the planet. The human fleet arrived without warning. It was not a fleet in the traditional sense. It was a moving wall of steel, stretching across space farther than sensors could measure. Titan-class dreadnoughts emerged first, their gravity drives distorting nearby stars. Behind them came carriers unleashing endless waves of autonomous fighters. Entire formations moved with machine precision, silent and overwhelming. The Dominion opened fire immediately. Human shields held. For the first time in recorded history, Dominion weapons failed to penetrate an enemy line. Human vessels advanced directly through the bombardment, while rail cannons the size of skyscrapers unleashed relativistic fire across the battlefield. Dominion cruisers vanished in flashes of white light. Enemy formations disintegrated before completing targeting sequences. The galaxy watched in stunned silence. Humanity was not fighting defensively. Humanity was hunting. Within hours, the battle transformed into a massacre. Human cyber warfare infiltrated Dominion command systems, turning entire fleets against one another. Stealth destroyers appeared behind enemy lines and detonated antimatter warheads inside carrier cores. Massive boarding vessels deployed genetically enhanced soldiers clad in black armor, tearing through Dominion flagships with terrifying efficiency. The Council had spent decades trying to survive the Dominion. Humanity dismantled them in a single day. As the final Dominion command ship attempted retreat, the human flagship transmitted a message across every military frequency in known space. "You were warned about Earth." Then the flagship fired. The resulting blast split the enemy vessel apart so violently that fragments burned through the upper atmosphere of the capital world like falling meteors. Across the galaxy, frightened populations watched the recordings replay endlessly. The same questions spread from system to system. What else had humanity been hiding? The answer came sooner than expected. Human fleets began coordinated offensives across occupied territory with impossible speed. They liberated enslaved worlds in days. Dominion strongholds that had resisted sieges for decades vanished overnight beneath precision orbital strikes. Entire enemy supply chains collapsed as human sabotage units crippled logistics hubs faster than they could be rebuilt. Every battle revealed another terrifying truth. Humanity had already planned this war centuries ago. Captured Dominion commanders eventually confessed the reason their expansion toward Sol had stalled long ago. Early scouting fleets sent toward Earth had never returned. Hidden listening stations vanished without trace. Entire invasion groups disappeared in deep space. The Dominion leadership eventually classified humanity as an unacceptable threat and chose to avoid direct confrontation until the rest of the galaxy was conquered first. That hesitation doomed them. The final battle occurred near the Dominion throne system. Thousands of human warships surrounded the enemy capital, while Council observers watched from a safe distance. The Dominion unleashed every remaining reserve in a desperate counterattack. It lasted 19 minutes. When the battle ended, the Dominion's ruling fleets were gone. Their military infrastructure burned across half a system. Human vessels remained in perfect formation, cold and undamaged like executioners finishing routine work. The Galactic Council expected celebration after the victory. Instead, humanity prepared to leave. At the emergency summit following the war, counselors begged Earth to finally join the Interstellar Alliance. They offered permanent leadership positions, unrestricted authority, even control over the reconstruction effort. Humanity refused every proposal. The Supreme Fleet Marshal delivered humanity's final statement before departing the chamber. For centuries, you mistook silence for weakness. You believed humanity had hidden from the galaxy because we feared you. The truth is simpler. We looked at your endless politics, corruption, and wars, and decided Earth was safer alone. The Marshal paused as stunned silence filled the chamber. But when extinction came for the galaxy, humanity answered. Then the human delegation walked away while thousands of warships departed the capital system in absolute silence. Across the stars, billions watched Earth's fleet vanish into hyperspace and realized something that would haunt the galaxy for generations. Long after the Dominion collapsed, rumors about humanity spread faster than verified reports ever could. Traders whispered about hidden shipyards drifting beyond the edge of known space. Refugees claimed they had seen entire human fleets vanish into artificial wormholes no other species could replicate. In every corner of the galaxy, one truth became impossible to deny. Earth had become the single most powerful civilization in existence. The Council attempted to restore authority, but the balance of power had changed forever. Species that once obeyed Council decrees without question now demanded independence and military protections equal to humanity's. Smaller worlds began forging direct alliances with Earth, believing the silent Terrans were more trustworthy than the politicians who had abandoned them during the war. That terrified the Old Powers Council. Intelligence agencies launched covert operations to uncover humanity's true capabilities. None succeeded. Spies disappeared the moment they entered human territory. Surveillance probes malfunctioned before transmitting data. One Council operative returned after 6 months in Sol space with white hair, trembling hands, and only 4 words recorded in his debriefing. They are still building. No one slept peacefully after that. Meanwhile, humanity continued reconstructing shattered worlds with frightening efficiency. Massive engineering vessels arrived in ruined systems carrying atmospheric processors, orbital defense platforms, and fusion reactors capable of powering entire planets. Human drones rebuilt cities faster than most species could clear rubble. Yet despite their overwhelming presence, the Terrans never occupied territory or demanded tribute. They simply finished the work and left. Many began to wonder if humanity's isolation had never been about fear or arrogance at all. Perhaps Earth had withdrawn because humans fundamentally distrusted centralized galactic power. Their actions after the war seemed to support the idea. They helped everyone equally but refused political control, as though they had learned long ago that empires eventually rot from within. The mystery deepened when ancient Dominion archives were finally decoded. Buried deep inside military records was a classified directive issued before the war even began. Dominion expansion routes had specifically avoided human territory for nearly 2 centuries. The reason stunned every analyst who read it. Early Dominion scouts had encountered humanity once before. The recovered recordings showed fragments of a forgotten battle near the edge of Sol space. Dominion warships surrounded what appeared to be a lone human vessel and demanded surrender. The human captain responded with a single transmission. "You have crossed a line your species will not survive." Moments later, the recording ended in static as the entire Dominion fleet vanished. The revelation shook the galaxy. Humanity had been capable of destroying the Dominion long before the war ever reached Council space. Yet Earth had remained silent and distant, watching events unfold from behind closed borders. Some called it cold indifference. Others called it restraint. Either answer unsettled the galaxy equally. Then came the signal from beyond explored space. A deep-range human monitoring station detected movement in the dark between galaxies. Something enormous was approaching the rim of known space, something older than the Dominion and infinitely more powerful. Human defense networks activated across thousands of systems instantly. Hidden fleets emerged from classified locations. Planetary shields powered online across Earth and its colonies. For the first time since the war, humanity looked afraid. The Galactic Council demanded answers, but Earth released only a brief public statement broadcast across every inhabited world. "Remain calm. Stay away from the outer sectors. Humanity will handle this." Those words should have been reassuring. Instead, they filled the galaxy with dread. Because if the species that defeated the Dominion in 19 minutes considered something dangerous enough to awaken their full war machine, then whatever was coming toward the galaxy was far worse than anyone could imagine.